Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos just like this one. And if you've already done so, please just check and confirm. Guys, today we present you with 13 wrestling siblings we totally forgot existed. Number 13, Al Snow and Logan Kane. Al Snow is best known for his time in ECW, WWE, and TNA, and for carrying a mannequin's head with him to the ring. He was never a star, but he was seen as a great worker who could help younger talent both in and out of the ring. After serving as a trainer on Tough Enough, Snow now owns a wrestling academy that has produced many current WWE and TNA wrestlers. Snow's half-brother Logan Kane also performed in the business, and he was trained by both Snow and D'Lo Brown. Kane had many gimmicks during his day, including being known as The Future and Khan the Rocker. Neither of those would last long, and neither would Kane's time in wrestling. He made his in-ring debut in 1997 and retired just 6 years later. Number 12, Ricky Steamboat and Vic Steamboat. Ricky is known around the world as one of the best in-ring performers of the last 30 years. He was a champion in both WCW and WWE and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009. A two-time winner of PWI's Match of the Year, Ricky was one of the few wrestlers who spent his entire career as a face. Many don't realize it, but Steamboat was actually his wrestling surname, as his real last name is Blood. Ricky's younger brother Vic rode off of Big Bro's success and adopted the Steamboat surname for his pro wrestling career. Vic didn't reach anywhere close to the level that Ricky did and only had a handful of matches with WWF and WCW in the early to mid-90s. He spent most of his career wrestling for regional NWA territories in the Northeast and never stepped into the squared circle against his more famous brother. Number 11, Paul Orndorff and Terry Orndorff. Only one of the Orndorffs was known as Mr. Wonderful, but both Orndorffs had scary endings to their wrestling careers. Paul Orndorff feuded with Hulk Hogan in the debut of WrestleMania in 1985 and was still active into his 50s. However, in the latter part of his career, he began having nerve injuries and his career essentially ended on a spike piledriver at 2000's Fall Brawl. Little brother Terry didn't have a fancy nickname or nearly the success as Paul, but he did have successful stints in Mid-South Wrestling and with WCCW under the Von Erichs. The two Orndorffs were a tag team for a brief time before Booker split them up to capitalize on Paul's talents as an individual wrestler. We know what would happen to Paul afterwards, but we don't know what would have happened to Terry, as in 1982, his career came to an end after he was hit by a drunk driver. Number 10, Jake Roberts and Rockin' Robin. We're doubling up on Jake the Snake, as not only did he have a half-brother that was a wrestler, but he also had a half-sister in the business as well. Rockin' Robin was in the WWE from 1987 to 1990, which coincided with both Roberts and Sam Houston's tenures. Robin would win the WWE Women's Championship after defeating Sensational Sherry, and would be the company's last women's champion until the title was reactivated by Alundra Blaze in 1993. The highlight of her career wasn't being a women's champion, but rather opening WrestleMania 5 by singing America the Beautiful. It's too bad Robin's WWE time was essentially over when the company decided to deactivate the women's division. She could have had plenty more years with the company. Number 9, Ted DiBiase Jr. and Mike DiBiase. The $1 Million Man produced some $1 million offsprings, and these DiBiases are the third generation of the wrestling family. Ted Jr. you are aware of, as he had a successful run in WWE alongside Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes as a member of the Legacy. Even though Ted is a junior, his brother Mike is actually older and wrestled in several regional promotions from 2006 until his retirement in 2009. There is also a third DiBiase brother, Brett, who is also retired. What is it with DiBiase's retiring so young? Brett made it up as high as FCW, but recurring knee injuries caused him to step away at the age of 23. It's safe to say that none of Ted DiBiase's sons had the same success he did in the industry. Number 8, Charlie Haas and Russ Haas. Before there was the world's greatest tag team, there were the Haas brothers, consisting of Charlie and Russ. The two wrestled in various regional promotions before eventually making it to the WWE's developmental territories in 2000. Unfortunately, we would never know what would become of the Haas brothers, as younger brother Russ suffered a fatal heart attack late in 2001. Afterwards, Charlie would wrestle with R.C. Haas, Russ Charlie Haas, written on his taped wrists. Haas would eventually team with Shelton Benjamin and would eventually marry Jackie Gata. While they were an amazing tag team, it's too bad we couldn't see what the Haas brothers could have done at the highest level. Charlie and Jackie's firstborn son was named Thomas Russell Haas in memory of Russ. Number 7. Bob Orton and Barry O. The sons of Cowboy Bob Orton Sr., Barry and Bob, both worked in the WWF during the 1980s, but their careers took two very different paths. Although Bob Jr. achieved uppercard success, working as Rowdy Roddy Piper's bodyguard and later teaming with the Magnificent Morocco, Barry Orton found his name changed to Barry O to distance himself from his brother. Early in his career, Barry worked in the WWF with the Orton name. Although Barry served as enhancement talent, his technical skills made for entertaining matches, helping to get his opponents over. Barry O teamed with Moondog Spot, helping to get over top teams like the British Bulldogs. Number 6. Road Warrior Animal and Marcus Laurinaitis. Did you know that there is a third Laurinaitis brother? Joe, aka Road Warrior Animal, is the oldest of the bunch and is one half of possibly the greatest tag team in wrestling history. Middle brother John, aka Johnny Ace, has been with WWE for 16 years as a producer and on-screen authoritative figure. Johnny Ace is also the stepfather to the Bella twins after marrying Kathy Colas in 2016. Youngest brother Marcus was trained by his two older brothers and wrestled for a couple of minor promotions before joining WCW in 1993. He was one half of the tag team The Wrecking Crew and challenged for the WCW tag team titles on occasion. That was about the highlight of Marcus's career, and he is now the fourth most famous Laurinaitis, after his brothers and his nephew James, who became a star linebacker in the NFL. Number 5. Tamina Snuka and Deuce. WWE went different routes with the children of Jimmy Snuka. Deuce first joined WWE in 2005, but it wasn't revealed that he was Jimmy Snuka's son until 2008. Originally, he was set to join Orton's Legacy stable, but plans for that were called off. He would be gone from the company in 2009, shortly after botching a spot at WrestleMania during The Undertaker-Shawn Michaels match. A year later, Tamina would make her WWE debut, but right away we were notified that she was the daughter of Superfly. She adopted her father's Superfly Splash as a finisher and was trained by Afa and Sika, aka the Wild Samoans. Tamina has been employed by the WWE since 2010, but just like her father, she's never captured a championship belt. Number 4. Alberto Del Rio and El Hijo de Dos Caras. El Hijo de Dos Caras, the son of Two-Face, is also the brother of Alberto Del Rio. Unlike Del Rio, who is an international celebrity and has worked for promotions all across the world, El Hijo is still trying to find his mark in the business. He was with NXT in 2012 and 2013 thanks in part to his brother, who was World Heavyweight Champion at the time. However, El Hijo would never get promoted to one of the main brands and eventually returned to Mexico. In Mexico, he adopted his current gimmick, which is a play off of his father, Dos Caras, or Two-Face. With how often Del Rio has bounced between promotions in recent years, it would not be a surprise to see he and El Hijo square off at some point. Number 3. Rikishi and Sam Fatu. The legendary Anoa'i wrestling family has produced dozens of wrestlers over the years, and 4 generations of family have appeared in WWE. Rikishi was a second-generation performer, as was his brother Umaga. However, most people don't know that Rikishi actually had an identical brother, Sam Fatu, who also went by the Tonga Kid. Fatu made his WWE debut when he was just a teenager in the early 1980s. He was initially aligned with his uncles Afa and Sika of the Wild Samoans, and would then team up with Haku, aka Ming. Fatu would also wrestle in WCW for a brief while before retiring after a tour of the indie scene in 2011. Among Fatu's other relatives are the Usos, his nephews, Roman Reigns, his cousin, and his other cousin, Yokozuna. Number 2. Dolph Ziggler and Briley Pierce. It's hard to believe, but Dolph Ziggler has been with the WWE for a dozen years now. Ziggler made his on-screen debut as a member of the Spirit Squad, and even though it would make sense, Ziggler's little brother was not a member of the Spirit Squad. Ryan Nemeth, aka Briley Pierce, is Dolph's younger brother, and joined OVW in 2010 and would sign with WWE in 2011. He never made it past the developmental level and wrestled for FCW and NXT for 2 years. After being released in 2013, Pierce moved to the indie circuit and is still active today. Like his older brother, Pierce is also an actor and TV writer and is currently living in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem he'll reach his older brother's level in the business. Number 1. Kurt Angle and Eric Angle. Kurt Angle's siblings have an extensive history of their own, ranging from heroin overdoses to voluntary manslaughter, but we'll stick to wrestling. Kurt was just inducted into WWE's Hall of Fame prior to WrestleMania 32, and as he so often reminds us, is the only Olympic gold medalist in pro wrestling history. The prime of his career came during the early 2000s in the WWE, which is when Kurt captured his first WWE Championship. It was also around this time when one of Kurt's older brothers, Eric, would debut with WWE. These two looked similar, so many thought that they were twins. However, Eric is 1 year older. After bouncing between OVW and spot appearances for WWE, Eric was released from his contract in 2003 and would retire shortly thereafter. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other wrestling siblings that we may have missed? Leave us a comment below and let us know. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our previous video, 9 instances in WWE history that proved that even Vince McMahon has heart. Don't forget to check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe for more videos just like this one, and the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and as always, thanks for watching.